Hey guys, so did any of you guys watch the new episode of the Halo series? Because I did, and I want to talk to you guys about like my first impressions and what I thought. And before I get into it, if you have yet to see it and you don't want to get spoiled because there will be some spoilers in this, go check it out and then come back and join us. But to the rest of you guys, let's get into it. Now, if there's a chance that you're watching this and you don't know what the Halo series is or you don't know what Halo is, it's this big franchise made by Bungie and it's currently being developed and managed by 343 Industries. And it's pretty much like humanity in this intergalactic war with the Covenant, which is an alliance of aliens. Did you guys feel like nostalgic in a way when you were watching the first episode? Because I definitely did. Obviously not like throughout the entire episode, because I do know from like reading about it before I started watching it, they said that they weren't going to be following like the whole lore of Halo, so I wasn't expecting it to follow the story that I know. But there were some moments that really gave me like, oh, this is Halo, man. The first one was like, they used a little bit of the soundtrack, like in the opening title sequence and then also later on in the episode. I was like, yeah, I feel that. I feel a little emotional because I don't know, the Halo, I feel like for me at least, Halo has one of the best soundtracks out there. And I don't know if that's like a controversial thing to say out of like all the games that are out there, but that's just my opinion. But I'm so happy that they were able to like incorporate a little bit of the soundtrack, though I do believe they should incorporate a little bit more, because if they're not gonna follow like the story of Halo, I feel like they could use all that they have, like the soundtrack, to really give the experience of Halo. But aside from that, I don't know about you, but I got such a like serotonin from hearing the shields recharge. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you're playing those countless hours on Halo and then all of a sudden you're getting the hits and then you hear the sporadic beeping like, oh my god, your shields are about to go like kaplunk, and then you have to take cover and then all of a sudden you hear the shoo. You know what I mean? Not only that, but they also added like the point of view that we see in the game where like it transfers from like seeing outwards and then going into the point of view of the Spartans. I'm like, it's perfect because it's giving this experience of the gameplay and I love that. Now, of course, like the nostalgic feeling can only take you so far into liking the series, but we also look at like the production value of it. And I think that starting with like the sets, they did good, which is to be expected because in this day and age when we have things like Foundation or they have Lost in Space and even Star Trek Discovery, I expect to be transported into a place thinking that it actually exists out there. Like, I want to know, I want to believe that they had packed their things and flew to fly at the place. And I think they did a really good job here. But what did you guys think of the Spartans? Like, what did you think of Silver Team? Because I thought they were so good. I thought the look of them looked amazing. I mean, if you're gonna do the Halo series, the one thing you should absolutely get right are the Spartans. You know what I mean? If you got that wrong, then I'd be like, is it worth it? But they did so well. I just like the grittiness of how they look. It was heavy duty, it was gritty, it was like, I want my own armor like that. But also seeing them in action, it just looked so good. But the action in general, I feel like they could do more. I don't know if it's just me, but I think that we should watch Forward Unto Dawn or Nightfall. I don't know about it, but when you watch those, it just looks chaotic. It just makes me feel like I am there experiencing what the war and battle is like because the camera is sporadic. I get a little cross-eyed because I don't know what I'm looking at, but that's like good, I feel, because you don't want it to look pretty and clean, like perfectly choreographed. You want it to look like it's a mess because that is what war is. It's a mess. But I will say the one thing that I really loved about the action that happened in this series so far is the goriness to it. I mean, like, it's not like all blood and gore and guts, you know? It's just, it caught me off guard at some points because when I was thinking of like plasma weaponry, when you get shot at with the plasma rifle or plasma pistol, I didn't think that it would be as dramatic as it was in the episode or in the series because when I think about it, I'm thinking, oh, you're gonna get like shot, it's gonna be like fleshy, burnt flesh, it's gonna be sizzling, maybe like a piece of you got cut off, but I didn't think that you would completely lose like your head if you got shot in the head. I didn't think that, and I was caught so off guard because I wasn't expecting it, and I don't know, I loved it. I loved it. I don't know how realistic it is, but I love the fact that it became that gory. But I hope that as the series continues, I hope it becomes more edgy. I hope that the experience of watching them in battle gets a little bit more chaotic, gets a little bit more messy, all while keeping the gore aspect in it, the grittiness that they have already. Oh, I also want to ask, what did you guys think of the elites? I personally did not like how they looked. And I'm not talking about like how they themselves, the beings, looked, because when they did like an up close shot, you know what I'm talking about? It looked really good. It looked like they were actual beings that exist. But I don't know how I feel about the armor. But when I was watching it for the first time, when I was watching it with my dad, I was like, those are the elites, right? I had to question it because they didn't look like it. I feel like they're very top heavy. Another part that I thought was kind of like off was during the battle in Madrigal, that scene where Master Chief like jumps onto like that bus thing or like that structure. The physics did not look right on that. Like he fell so fast, and then like when he landed, it didn't look realistic. It just looked like really bad CGI. Like there was like no realistic feel to how someone would land when they jump at the height that they did. And I kind of hope that gets fixed in the future because I don't want to burst out laughing because of how odd it looks when they're landing. Oh, but the one thing that I'm constantly thinking about right now, how did you guys feel about Master Chief taking off his helmet? Because I'm going to be completely honest with you, I got mixed emotions from it. I got like Mando vibes from it, but like I don't mind the idea of him taking off his helmet because I feel like with the series, I expected him to take it off at some point because I can already feel in the beginning of like the episodes and later on that they're trying to kind of humanize and give like Master Chief this like new feeling of being like humanly. But I didn't expect it to happen so early on in the series, like the first episode. I feel like it was kind of like, not a letdown, but I'm gonna lack for a better word, a letdown, because I feel like it was so early on that you couldn't like build up the anticipation of him taking off his helmet, because we had just started seeing like him having like these memories, and I get that you're trying to like humanize the whole feeling of Master Chief, but I don't know how I felt about how he like took it off so early. I mean, what do you guys think? Maybe I'm just like overthinking it, but I don't know about you guys, but do you feel like if Master Chief like had his helmet on, it kind of gives him a more humanizing feel? Maybe it's because like throughout the years we're just so used to him not removing his helmet that it's just like something we're so used to and something that we don't actually want to change. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's better off leaving the helmet on. Also, again, I'm not against him taking off the helmet, I just think it was a little too early, but I did not, and I repeat, I did not like the fact that he kept it off for the rest of the episode. I was just kind of weirded out at that point because I'm like, Master Chief, I've known him for like the gear, the helmet, all that. And then all of a sudden he's like, has his helmet off and it's like some guy, and it kind of like depleted the whole oh my god Halo feel at the end of that, because I was like, at least put the helmet back on before you like take a lift off. In the end though, I did like it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't think it was like mind-blowingly amazing, but I do think that there are a lot of things that they could do better and a lot of things that they could add to the experience of watching Halo, because I know they're not following the story, but if you're not gonna follow the story, at least like follow like the aesthetic of Halo, because Halo is known to be an epic franchise, and I got epic, but not like epic, like, you know what I mean? I just want it to live up to what I know Halo to be, and I know that it's not gonna be completely it since it's not following the story, but I do hope that in the later episodes it does, you know, progress in a good way. Also, taking on a franchise like Halo, that's a lot of like pressure on them, because you're not gonna please everybody, but at least try to please the majority. You know what I mean? But I'm definitely gonna continue watching it, so I'm kind of excited to see what they come up with in the later episodes. But that is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!